Here's 6 steps to retire from full-time work in 10 years or less. 1. Level up. Gain skills through school or self-education and try to stay out of debt. 2. Build a surplus. Get a full-time job and cut your expenses to save hard. 3. Create a wealth explosion. Direct all excess cash toward debt payoff and investing. 4. Take a big break. Not gonna lie, you're gonna get burned out doing this after a few years. So take a sabbatical, but keep some freelance work so you don't spend all your savings. 5. Accelerate to your destination. Double down and try to save even harder. 6. Ride into the sunset. After saving 25 times your annual expenses, you're retired. We saved a bunch of money and retired at 29. So how will we pay our bills forever?
Our full-time jobs are history, but we still do a little freelancing that covers all of our low living expenses.
But if we quit that too,
Our stocks will continue to pay capital gains and dividends.
our bonds will keep paying us interest.
Our rental property would still generate income.
And an ACA subsidy would kick in to offset our health insurance costs.
And all that should still be enough to live on indefinitely.
Which means any work we choose to do is totally optional.
So when we say we're retired,
Does that mean we'll never do any work again until we die? No, that sounds kind of boring.
does that mean we could live off of investment income only if we had to? Yes. Our expenses are super low, and we invested a lot back when we worked full-time.
Does that mean our income comes from our website and social media? Sadly, no. We started our website after saving a bunch of money to help other people do the same.
Does that mean the work we choose to do is optional, and we can take breaks or travel whenever we want? Yes. And that is the beauty of early retirement, or whatever you want to call it.
We retired at age 29 by keeping our expenses low and investing the excess. Here's what our spending looks like now. Our condo's paid off, but there's still all this stuff. Without employers, we pay a lot for health insurance. We get our groceries at Walmart, but we do eat out sometimes. There's electric, water, cell phones, and internet, but we never paid for TV. We road trip a lot in our camper van. There's other stuff too, like clothes and entertainment, like our park passes. Here's the 1-year total for the 2 of us.
More about saving money, investing, and retiring early at tripovalifestyle.com.
You know, we like to say that if you get started on our financial roadmap at age 20, by 30 you can retire. And that's exciting. Sometimes though, I think people who are 30 hear that and think, well, it's too late for me. But remember, if you start at 30, you can be financially set for life by 40. And the traditional retirement age is 65, so you're still killing it. Everyone says you're supposed to find your dream job, but the truth is it's impossible to find one job you'll love doing for 40 years. So don't get stuck. Pick a job, any job, and don't spend the majority of your income. Invest it instead. If you invest 65% of every paycheck for 10 years, the return on those investments can pay for all your living expenses until you die. Without the need to work a job anymore, you'll be free to explore every new passion for decades to come. The key to making this work is reducing your living expenses. To find out how, visit tripovalifestyle.com.
The 4% rule for early retirement says you can withdraw 4% of your portfolio's initial value plus inflation every year and never run out of money. Have you ever wondered why? What's been the long-term return of the stock market? Nice, yeah, that's right. And what about the bond market? Uh-huh. And if we average those, because we're using a 50-50 portfolio, what does that come out to be? Yep, nice. And subtract inflation from that? Hey, that comes out more than 4%, so we've got a little margin of error. Savings, debt, credit score, income. None of these things really matters by itself. If there's one financial number you absolutely have to know, and that's net worth. It's equal to all your assets minus all your liabilities. This is the one thing you should track because if it's going up over time, then you're getting richer. I think of my net worth as my start over number. If I sold everything I own and paid off all my debt, I could start over a new life however I wanted with that amount. So we talk a lot about big money goals like paying cash for a house or investing hundreds of thousands of dollars to retire early and travel the world. But then we also talk about how we buy generic groceries at Walmart and I rode my bike to work for 7 years. That always seems like a contradiction to people, but remember, the easiest way to get rich and buy your freedom is to keep your living expenses low. You are wealthier than a billionaire right now, and I'm going to prove it to you. Warren Buffett is worth $100 billion today. He's 90 years old. Given that information, would you trade places with him? I wouldn't. If you answered no too, that makes both of us wealthier than Warren Buffett. But it's up to us to use this wealth of time wisely. Don't waste it.